Are you jealous? Are you jealous? Oh, don't do it. Are you jealous? It's gonna be loud. Everybody's up, separated. We're trying to scrape out in front of the barn right now. We're fighting some rain. It wasn't supposed to rain, so you know it's gonna rain. Welcome to Appalachia's Homestead, y'all. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the farm. Give me a hug. Don't break my turkey egg. So, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Kicking off a whole new lineup of videos coming up starting, well, now. A lot going on. I know you guys are busy, and I'm going to update you on some of the things going on. I'm going to talk about something real quick tonight on this Sunday evening at 7:05. So we are currently, dinner's going, and then we're putting all the animals up, and suddenly it's raining, and then we had to take the cows up and put them up in the one of the furthest paddocks, if you will, because they get really excited if you start getting out the tractor or if you come in with the truck. I mean, they just go hog wild. They get so excited. I don't know if they think we're bringing in a large hay bale. That's you should see them when we do that. So we have to really move them so they don't get in the way or anything like that. Whew, turn on just a little bit of air, make it a little Irish in here. And we brought the dogs in. We're also bringing up one of the temporary housing for our new buck. We got him, y'all. I know I want to do a whole separate video on him. So he's doing well. He's adjusting. He's next to but separated from the herd. We just had to put Rip up too. So everybody's up right now due to all the movement, and the gates are open and everything like that. But I'm at a standstill. So I want to talk about a few things, but we've been doing great. We had the Trail of Tears walk in North Carolina. We are working out like crazy monkeys. Continuing to work on fitness and diet. Getting ready for winter. Right now, the whole month of October, you're always getting ready for winter. It doesn't stop, does it? Never, never, never. I know there's a lot of things going on politically right now, and we're all just trying to stay sane. And within that, I know that you've been with me on this journey the last we're going into 3 months now as far as the things that we've been discussing as far as getting closer to God. Really, I'm trying to focus on, with my videos a lot of the time, and even with my shorts, things that are positive mental reminders for y'all, or positive breaks, or get you back to your roots of where you need to be, which is God, family, fitness, farm, whatever you're doing. You don't even have to farm. I'm really trying to continue on my path of where I'm at. And I know I have people that, just a couple, I know you're going to, don't focus on the negative. No, I'm not. In fact, it's got me thinking about something. So I'm going to say this right now. Please don't take me out of context on this. This is coming from a place, this is coming from my heart, and this is coming from concern. And, I could, sure, somebody could say, well, she's just being ugly. No, I'm really not. When somebody says to me, even to my husband who is doing, y'all, we've had a major breakthrough with James, okay? I'm joking. That's a whole different man right now, okay? We'll talk about that. Ladies, I'm going to say this real quick before I get into the meat and potatoes, but you jump on your journey with getting so much better. And you love on that man, and I've said this before, all the people around you, it could be even your parents, hello. It could be your friends, hello. It could be people you don't know, hello. And it especially could be maybe your children or your spouse. All of a sudden, they're going to see your glow up. Have you heard about that? The glow up. You're starting to glow up, okay? You've grown up, you've accepted reality, you've accepted the responsibility, and you're glowing up. It's the best prep right now you could ever have. It's the best prep you've got, okay? I'm so glad God put me on this path with, I held back on certain farming and homesteading things this year, and I didn't know why. And now, as we are going into October, I know exactly why. We've talked about that. Ladies, get on it. I'm telling you, guys, support your women and do it together, okay? But here's what I'm saying. So from time to time, okay, I just want to just laugh with me. From time to time, some of them are innocent questions, but sometimes, when somebody's just being a little bit of a passive-aggressive individual, and it's usually women, and they'll be like, I don't understand why you would want to go work out or change anything, because aren't you getting enough exercise with the farm that you've got? The answer, Susan, is no. Okay? Okay, if your name is not Susan, whatever your name is, no. I'm going to say we're not. I think it's obvious that we haven't been, and I'm not going to play stupid about it, and neither is my husband. And so I think that a lot of times when people say that, I think they're just trying to process the responsibility that they should look at for themselves. There's a few people that don't understand as well. Let me explain something to you. Think about this first. The state of Tennessee is literally losing 200 acres of farmland a day. In conjunction with that, I want you to realistically think about, when you think about people farming or homesteading now, I'm not talking about what your great-great-granddaddy did 100 years ago when he was lean and mean running mules every day, okay? That's not what I'm talking about, okay? What I'm saying is how on the average day, when you see people homesteading, how many acres do you really think most? Now, if you're somebody that's out there that's running 200 and 300 acres and you're baling hay and you're working with big ag and you're doing all of these different things, although you're probably working with massive equipment, which means you may or may not be using your muscles that much. I don't know. I'm just saying, realistically, that's where we have to be. Honestly, how many acres, when you say you're homesteading, what are you actually doing? Now, most people, in my opinion, they've got a nice garden. They put some food away. Absolutely agree with that. They may have a chicken coop. I don't know how many. Let's say you've got 30 to 50 chickens on the high side. You might run a pig for 6 months. You might be milking a dairy cow or a couple of dairy goats. I'm talking about the average smaller family homestead. In fact, most of them don't have dairy animals. Most people that I have seen, met, and know over the last 12 plus years of doing this with y'all on social media, they homeschool. The man and or the wife works, sometimes both. Great people. They have a chicken coop. The kids help. They have a garden. The man might hunt a couple times a year. The gal might be good at a couple of herbs, doing some tinctures. Her brag is sourdough. I mean, come on, it's true. Don't lie to me. Mine's biscuits, okay, so nothing wrong with all of that. We need that. You people are the most important people on the planet, okay? You can things throughout the year, you know. You have to go get some hay every now and then. You know, you bush hog this twice a year. I mean, think about, so when I say these things, how much labor is that for the average male and female or small family? How much physical, muscular labor is that on a daily basis? So you might hit the gardens a couple of times throughout the year. It's a hard day. You know, you've had to till, you've had to throw mulch, maybe you're back to Eden, you got to go get stuff. You know, you might have a time period where you're really out in the sun, outside, getting your vitamin D, the kids are involved, you're sweating it out. Well, once the garden is planted and things start to hopefully grow for you in this stressful weather that we always have, you're watering some, you're not picking yet. You might be doing some weeds in a couple of weeks. So you have, my point is you have acreage being lost, at least here, by the hundreds per day. You have individuals farming and homesteading less. And the ones that are, on average, there's always an exception. I get it. Don't go there with me. There's always an exception, but you know, how much physical labor are you actually doing? I mean, are you really, really, really getting in 4, 5, 6 days a week of some serious effort? I'm going to argue 9 times out of 10, you're not. And I know this about myself only because we've been doing this. We probably have a moderate to larger size homestead on today's scale. I mean, we've got cattle, dairy cows, lots of dairy goats. I'm going to be milking big time, hopefully starting mid-February. We've got 2 chicken coops. We've got livestock guardian dogs. We've got rabbits. We've got, we're adding pigs back. I mean, we chop our own firewood. I mean, all the things we go and get some to supplement. I'm just sitting here thinking of all that. Here comes James on a tractor right now. So, I mean, we do physical labor. We do physical work. But you know what? I had massive inflammation and I got skinny fat. My husband fell into a massive health crisis. And things happen. So when you see the average homesteader or prepper even out there, I want you, and you consider yourself in that category, are you really 3, 4, 5 days a week getting in a serious workout? I'm going to argue and say you most likely are not. So when women particularly are asking me why, the reason being is because I got one life. And the stress on the American, he's taking the truck up there now. He's going to go get that doohickey. There he goes. The average American, I think, even with their best efforts at eating whole foods, we have so much stress from the economy, on the environmental factors, homeschooling our kids, dealing with politics, religion, and whatever out there. So stress alone, that's not even considering if you have to care for extra elders in your family. What if somebody's lost a job? Think of all the stressors that are in your life. So I am pushing as hard as I can on myself, and it has completely fired up my husband. I think this has been a rekindle of our marriage at this point. I've seen a side of my husband that I haven't seen in a very long time, because you don't have to go to a gym. You can get on your driveway. I don't care what you do. But we are trying our best to go to the gym at least 4, if not 5 days a week. We're there for about 45 to 50 minutes. I spot him, he spots me. He helps train me. I help support him. I'm cooking 3 meals a day to help support our family. I mean, as whole food, non-crap as possible. And the change in the last 2 to 3 months has been tremendous. But we're also working our farm. I don't believe, had we not jumped in hard on this diet, even though I've been told for years, I'm so healthy, you're so healthy. You know what? I was so healthy. But compared to what? Compared to who? I didn't feel good about myself anymore. My husband didn't feel good about himself anymore. we started losing the edge, and we lost it actually a long time ago. So I think it's important, and you know what? We may lose it again, okay? There's no perfection here. There's a long way to go. But when people say to you, oh, you don't need to do that. Don't you have a chicken coop? Oh, well, don't you weed a garden? I'm sorry to tell you, the people that I'm gonna really say this, and it's gonna make people mad, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to, but the rare and few homesteaders and preppers that you see out there, and especially the men, women too, that look like total iron, they're not getting that by milking their goats. I'm sorry. And they may be physically fit for what they do. They may be more physically fit compared to most people. But when you compare it to where I think we need to be with the stressors that we have, with the impact, I think that the lifestyles that we are living, with the social issues that we are dealing with, and if you want to go doomsday, you better be fit. I'm sorry. And that doesn't mean you're going to make anything. But I think trying to make changes now is imperative. By me pulling back and saying, I'm not gardening this year, and by default, my goats didn't get bred earlier in this year. It's like God said, you're going to pause. You're going to take care, but you're going to pause. And I'm going to show you what you need to grow next year. I'm going to show you how weak you actually are. It is astounding what I can do. And James has even said this. He's like, I can't believe how much better I can lift things when I work in the barn or out in the field by going to the gyms a couple of times a week. I mean, we are doubling our weight. We are lowering our reps. We are doing all kinds of things right now. I can pick up things with no problem. I mean, yeah, I can toss hay and straw and things like that, but there's certain things as a woman, our upper body typically is so much weaker than a man's. There are buckets and things that I'm doing in here now I could barely do before. It would be something that James would be like, I got it. And I'd be like, okay, and I would find something else, right? I mean, we work together. But now I don't need to ask him. I can do it. Ladies, don't let these voices out there, men, don't let these voices out there try to convince you. You know if you need to self-improve, and you know if you're concerned about where this community is and how badly it is needed and where it is going, then you're going to step up to the plate. You're also going to be more confident in yourself. You're going to have a better marriage or relationships with people because you're going to be cooler and calmer. Turn off the X, turn off the TV, get outside before the really cold weather hits. And even when the cold weather hits, it's not going to be an excuse. If you start really hitting it now, and as I've been really pushing y'all, winter's going to be better for you. But these people out there that I'm talking, and it's a handful of homesteaders and preppers, and it's mostly men that I've seen over the years. And I'm saying we're talking fit. They're going to the gym. They're doing Krav Maga. They are in boot camp style training. They're lifting weights, and they're implementing that. They're adding that. They're doing all these things in addition to a job, to being a family man, and to everything else you see the average homestead or prepper doing. They cut out the rest of the junk. So we're out here pulling mud, working in the rain, moving cows, bringing in hay, doing all the things, prepping for winter, getting firewood, everything that you can imagine. But you know what? That's not why we're better. It helps. It's part of our lifestyle. But you're up against so much. So I just want to continue to encourage you. Don't let these voices try to talk you down and out of a glow up, is what I'm going to call it. It's what everybody, it is a thing. Whatever you can do to clear and clean up your diet, and you have to do it daily. It's not 3 times a week. If you can walk, that's great. But I'm telling you, especially you ladies, you've got to start trying your best in some capacity in lifting weight. You've got to have that hard physical action several times a week. Look into high protein diets, Do your research on your, on what you're interested in. Think about honestly and very clearly, how much exercise are you getting on a daily, weekly basis? And is that going to be enough? I'm going to say for 95+% of us out there, this just isn't enough. You're not living in the era of your great-great-grandparents where they had to do this 18 hours a day just to eat. They lived like this daily. Their food and their water was so much cleaner. They had a tight community. They were close to their community and they went to church. You're up against so many odds. And I just want to continue to encourage you to evaluate when you see people that are winning. And I'm not saying that's me. I'm seeing others. What are they doing? What are they eating? What are they cutting out? What are they pulling back? How are they making their life better? This lifestyle is the ultimate. But at the same time, we have to be realistic of where we are, where we've been, and how are we going to continue to move forward, especially with stress and age. More coming up on this. Like, subscribe, and share. Pray, prep, and be peaceful. I know you guys are wanting to see all the critters. Lots going on there. And we're continuing to grow. We've got some fencing that we finally got finished up today. And also over here, we're having some help come in this week to give us a quote on new siding and roof on that barn. Yeah, we'll see what that costs now. Guys, I love you, and I will see you on the next video.